Hi, okay, so today I'm going to talk about using Zotero to keep notes organised. I've tried a few different things over the last 12 to 18 months just to get all my notes in order. I've tried Evernote, I've had a bit of a look at OneNote, I think it's called OneNote or EndNote, OneNote, the Microsoft one. Anyway, Zotero is the one that I've decided to go with. I did use Evernote originally, but I don't like it because it doesn't have very much of a hierarchical structure. It relies completely on tags, and that's just not the way my brain works. So for me, I prefer a structure to it. So the other question is, well, then why don't I just keep everything in folders on my computer, which is how I used to do it originally. The problem with that is you can't search into your actual notes. You can only search by file or folder name. So if you wanted to run a search on and bring up all your articles or all your notes that you've got about a particular topic, unless that word is saved within the file name, you'll never find it. So I found that to be quite limiting. And also for saving web pages, I found that it wasn't very constructive in that regard. The other thing I really like about Zotero is its built-in referencing tool for creating bibliographies. I think you can probably use it for doing in-text citations, but I haven't quite got my head around that yet. And I know you can do that with Word also. But I just find it easy that I keep all my notes in one place, and then when I want to reference them, it's just like literally 2 clicks and it's done. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to put in a link to the Zotero webpage. So if you want to have a look at it, you can. Okay, so just bear with me. This is the first time I've done a Hangout. So I'm just getting my head around how to use it all. Just waiting, and my connection's a bit slow because I'm on satellite internet, so my computer takes a little bit longer to do everything that it might for you. So I've just put in the link to the Zotero website. So you can come back if you're watching this later and get the link to that. So I'm just going to click onto screen share now. And then I can show you what I'm doing. So, all right, so I'm just going to reduce that. Okay, so this is the Zotero website. If you click on that link that I've just shared, it will bring you up to this. So to download it, you want to click this here, the big red download now button, and it will take you through all the prompts to install it on your computer. Now you do have to add an extra add-on for Chrome. I believe it's built in with Firefox to be able to save things straight from the web, but I'm pretty sure it comes up and from memory and tells you about that. If not, just have a look through the documentation and you'll find it. So to get to documentation, you just click on documentation here, and it will bring you up to, it's got a whole heap of, here we go, quick links and how to use it and all the different guides that you might need. So if you're having trouble installing it, just go to the installation, have a look at the quick start guide, and they've got heaps of really great tutorials on how to get up and running. So I'm not going to go through all of that because it's there, but I am just going to use this today to show you how I use it. Okay, so I'll reduce this down. And once you've put it onto your computer, you'll get your little icon on the desktop, which is this one here, Zotero. So if you open it up, this is what mine looks like at the moment because, just delete that, because I've already been using it. So you can see I've got all my different things in here, all my different categories. So if I close it all up, these are my top categories, and then I've got everything underneath it. So I use it for a to-do list, interesting articles I might want to come back and read later. I've got a section for professional development, and up in here is where I have all my study. So this is the section I'll show you. So basically you just have, it's like saving anywhere else on your computer. You've got your files, and then you've got your you've got your folders and then you have your files within them. So I have a top one here for those of you who are also studying, and in this section I keep everything that pretty much has to do with what I'm working on at the moment. So I have admin stuff, which is related to my course, my book wish list, because there's always books I want, case studies I'm working on, clinic resources, my current subjects, and then I've got everything broken down under that. Then if we go a bit further down, you can see where I'm actually storing my information that I'm collecting and collating. So I've got it broken down into, as you can see, different areas: so anatomy and physiology, different conditions, detox, drug side effects, heavy metals, nutrients. So I'll just show you how I've got it set up within those. So with the nutrients, for example, if we open this up, you just click on the little arrow and it will show you all the subfolders within that. And then I've got my essential acids, my essential fatty acids, minerals, vitamins, all the other little bits of information in there. If you wanted to go in, say, and look about magnesium, what I've got collected about magnesium, that's a mineral. So I'd go into minerals and click on magnesium, and it's got all the information here that I've saved. So some of these are articles, journal articles, like this one, for example. And you can see when I click on it, it brings up on the right here all the bibliographic information that has been saved for that. Then I also have a web page. This one here's a web page. I have class notes. I have my own personal notes. I have all sorts of things saved in there. So that's how I've got that. And it's obviously up to you how you want to organise it, just however works for your head. So, like for example, in here I've got my conditions that I've learned about or that I've researched. And then you can break them down further into however it is that works for you. So that's basically how I've got it set up. So then I suppose the question is that you need to be able to find information when you want it. So I've got it set up in a structure that works for me. The other way you can do it is with tags. So you can actually tag if that's the way that that you find easier. You can tag things. So say for example, I've got this ebook here, Our Stolen Future. If I wanted to, I could add tags to that. So we've got, you click on the item you want to tag, you come over here to tags, click add, and then you just type it in. So for this one, for example, I could have one for ebook, I could have endocrine disruptors. As you start to type, if it's a tag you've already used, suggestions will come up. So you can just click on that and add it that way. You can add your own notes. So if I wanted to add a note about this book, I could put, I'll just put, this is a great resource about the history of endocrine disruptors in the environment and our health. Okay, and the first line that you have there becomes your title over here. So you can see under the main heading here, we've got Our Stolen Future. You've got the PDF of the actual book, and then here I've got a note, and you can add as many notes. I can tag my notes down here if I like, and I can also mark related things that I have saved. So if I've got another article over here that relates to that, I can annotate it in here. So it works really well. And with your notes, you can see you can italicize it and underline it and put bullet points and make it look pretty to however you want. Then if you decide you actually want to delete it, like I don't really need to know that I don't need that note, you just press delete, or not delete, or right click, sorry. Right click, move item to trash. You'll ask, say yes, and there it goes, so it's gone. Okay, so how do we get our information in here? Now that you know how to find it once it's in there, how do you actually get it in? So there's a few different ways. One is if you've got a file that's already stored on your computer, you can either link to the file or you can import the actual file. So if you're never going to change where you've got your file saved, then you could do link to file. But I like to actually import the file so that it's saved within Zotero. That way, if my computer were to crash, I'd still be able to access it because I would have the actual file saved within Zotero rather than just a link to the file pathway. Which brings me to the other really great thing about this is that you, when you download it, you'll sign up with Zotero and it syncs to the cloud and it's all saved. It's all saved safely on there so other people can't access it. So I can log into Zotero from another computer. Like if I was at work, I could log in from a desktop there and I could access my information. At home, I can access it off my laptop. I could go to the library, I could access it from there, but it's all safe and secure information. The other really great thing that I only just read about today, so I haven't used it yet, is that you can share files and folders with Zotero. So if you're working on a project with someone or a couple of people and you want to be able to share your information, you can selectively share your information. So if I were to set something up, I would actually be picking which of my files each person has access to. They wouldn't just automatically have access to everything that I've got. That would be within my control, which is really good because obviously if I've got personal information in here as well, like my to-do list, I might not actually want them knowing what I'm getting up to. I might just want to share some of my information. Right, so how do we get our information in here? So, all right, I'm going to start by making a new folder. So say we want it still within my study area. I'm going to right click on where I want the folder to fall under and we're going to have a new sub collection. And I'm going to pick a name. So I'm going to call this one infographics because I'm going to put some infographics in here. Okay, so you can see that it's made a little folder here, infographics, under the subfolder that I initially selected. And because this is highlighted here and there's nothing over here, you can see that it's still empty. So if I want to add a file, I click on this one and it says store copy to a file or link to file. So the link to file is if you just want to basically save the pathway to where it's saved, but I want to actually store the copy of the file. So I'm going to click on that. Ask me to pick the file. So you would just go through, and find the one that you want. So this is the one I want to save, and it's now saved in there. It's a JPEG file. So I can add notes if I want to add notes to it over here. I can add tags if I want to add a tag. So let's say we can put infographic. And then, because that way later if I want to, do a search and bring up all my infographics, then that will do that. And then if we want to actually have a look at it, all I have to do is double click on it and it will bring it up. So there we go. A good laugh and a long sleep are the two best cures for anything. All right. So another way that you can add things, I'll just keep it in this folder to keep it easy, is if you've got a book. So I've got a book here. It's my Mosby's Diagnostic. I use it all the time. The easiest way to do it, if you've actually got the book in front of you or if you have access to the ISBN. So another way you can do that is just, look it up on Amazon and they'll tell you what the ISBN of the book is. You click on the little magic wand here because this really is magic. I love this. So it says to enter one or more of the ISBN. So we're just doing it for the one book. So the ISBN is usually on the back cover and it's just near the barcode. So we just type that in, 323046347, and then hit enter. And then just wait a minute while it thinks. And there we go. It's automatically sped up all of our reference information for that book. So I've now got that information in there. I can go in again and I can add notes. I can add tags. It's already put a few in there automatically. And again, if there were any related files that I wanted to include, I could put that there. So that's a really easy way to get a book in there. Bring it back to info. So if you're working on an assignment, for example, or if you're doing some research and you want to have some notes and you want it to be linked to the bibliographic information, this is a really good way to start. Get the name of the book in with all its data. And if you want to add some notes, you can hit add a child note, and child just means it falls under something else. So we've now got a note and we can type. And once again, that first line will come up as your title. You can also, if you like, add in, if you've got a Word document saved, that might be some of your notes that you've taken from that particular book. You can bring them in again with the store copy of file that I showed you, or a document. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to save a journal article that you find online. I find this one to be really handy. So here we go. So we don't need that one anymore. So say we found this article, supplementation with flaxseed, and we want to save this into Zotero. So the first thing you want to do, once you've decided you want to keep it, is go into Zotero and find where you want it to save. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put it under the food as medicine and flaxseed. So I don't have a folder yet for flaxseed, so we're going to create one. So right click on the parent folder, new subcollection, and type it in, flaxseed, and there it is. So we're now in the area we want it to save. So come back to your web page, and if you look up in the URL bar up here, you'll see there's a little page, and that comes in. If you have Firefox, it'll automatically install. If you're on Chrome like me, there is a little add-on that you have to install after you install your Zotero, but again, that's all in the download documentation. So you just click on that little page, and then you'll see down the bottom of the screen here that it says it's saving, and it will tell you where it's saving to. So once again, things are a bit slow on my computer because I'm on satellite internet, and we've got a storm brewing, so it's probably running even slower again. Now it says, if you look under here, that it's saving a full text PDF, a snapshot, and the PubMed entry. So once that's all saved and downloaded, it will come up. You can see here it is in Zotero. So I've got the full text PDF, the PubMed entry, and the snapshot. So if you want to read it, you double click it, and sometimes this happens. I don't know if it's just my computer or what. So the way I get around it, I'm actually glad that's happened so I can show you. If the link like that doesn't work, I just save the document. So I'm saving it as a PDF. Save it into a folder, you can find it. It doesn't really matter where. This is a bit roundabout, but it's what I have to do with, I don't know if it's just my computer or what it is. So then we come back in here into the folder, and then we want to store a copy of file, like we did before, from the folder where we'd saved it. Double click, and it brings it up. And then just to tie it in with you so it all stays together and nice and neat, you just drag and drop, and then you'll see it's shifted over under there. So if you want to tidy it up, you can close that, and if you want to see everything saved under there, you can open it. Then you just double click, and there's your article. So you can make it bigger if you want to be able to read it. And there you go. So it's now saved to your computer. It's saved in your Zotero. And once you sync your Zotero, which you do by clicking on this little green arrow over here, it will sync across all your devices. So now, if you're doing your report or assignment or whatever, and you want to reference this because you've used your notes from in here, it's really easy. So you go up to the heading one here, and you can see it's got all the bibliographic information down here to the right. All you have to do, and I love this, is right click, and you want to create a bibliography from the item. And then it spits up this little window. So you just pick whatever style it is that you're required to use, because as we know, every place you go to, they want you to reference in a different way. So for where I'm studying, we have to use this one, the APA 6th edition. So just click on the one you want. Then we want it for the bibliography, and we want it to copy to the clipboard. We click OK. Then you open up your Word document or your Google Doc or wherever it is that you're writing your report. Go to your reference section. So if we have, say, references, and then you just right click. You can right click and paste. You can Control V, however you like to paste. But you just pasted it straight into your document and there it is. There's your full bibliographic entry in whatever format it is that you chose. Really, really, really easy. I love it. So that's how you use that's how you create a bibliography from an item that you've got saved in there. Okay, the other way of doing it is if we have another article. So let's just find a related article. Where are we? Next article. Doesn't really matter what the article is for the purpose of this. So once again, sorry, my computer's really slow, but such are the joys of living out in the sticks. Just wait for our next one to come up. And I'll show you how you can actually enter the information if you say, for example, somebody's emailed you an article. So I'm just going to save this. Okay. Okay, so just say you've either already got an article saved on your computer or maybe somebody has emailed it to you and you want to save it into Zotero. So once again, you go into the folder that you want. So I'm going to pop this back in this other one so I can find it, just so I can delete it later. Okay, so we're going to store copy of file. You find the file that you've saved or someone's emailed to you, and you bring it in, and there it is. Now, as you can see, unlike the other one, there's no bibliographic information here. So the way we add that is you click on this for a new item, and we've got a journal article this time. So again, it can be a book, it can be a newspaper article, whatever you like. But this one's a journal article. Okay, and now it brings up on the right all your options to add the information in. So all you have to do is type it in. So we've got our title. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it because that's easy. Copy, paste, and then you can, okay. Now when you've got multiple authors, sorry about this, making it everywhere. Sorry. Okay, when you've got multiple authors like on this article, okay, you can see, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different authors. You can't copy and paste them straight in. You have to do them individually. So okay, so author. When you look over here on your Zotero, you can see it's got author last first. So that's for their name. So we start with our first author. You click on last, and her surname is Atkinson. And then you can just tab across and put in her first name, Charlotte. Then you can see we've still got some more authors. So you just click on the little plus sign here, and it will let you put in another author. So we just put them in like that, and so on. And you just keep adding your authors, You can add in your abstract. So you can see we've got an abstract here that the author's put. So you can just copy and paste it. So we just copy, come over here to abstract and paste. Then you can put in the rest of your information, your publication volume, issue, the pages, date, all that sort of thing. When you have a look, it's got all your information here for you. Now you'll notice that they're still separate, right? So we've got the actual article that we've saved here, and we've got our bibliographic information here. Just to connect them, you just, again, drag and drop, and then you can see it's come underneath it. And then you can close that to tidy it up. So in a nutshell, that's basically how I use Zotero to keep everything organized. So you can see you can save information from the web. You can also save actual web pages. So I'll just quickly show you how to do that. So to do that, you want to minimize it so you've got both your Zotero and your website open. So say it's this page again, okay, just for ease of use that you want to save. So you go into the area in here where you want to keep it. So we want it in this section here. And then you go to your web page, you highlight the URL, and all you have to do is just drag and drop. And it will pop up there. Again, it's slow because my internet connection is painfully slow. There we go, and it's popped up there. So it looks the same as the other one just because it's the same title, but you can see there that that's the actual web page. So if we were to do it, say with my Google Plus page, again, you just highlight the URL, drag it over and drop it. And there it's thinking, and it'll pop up in a minute. Waiting. Maybe it's not going to give us a title. It's just called it web page. But you can go in and you can put website title. So we could put here, it's my Google Plus page. Put whatever information you like. So that's how you do it. That's how you can save an article or a document from your computer. How you can save an article that you have found on the web from a database. You can save an actual web page. You can even include JPEGs. I showed how to do a JPEG with that one there. Yeah, I really like it. I find it's really easy to just keep everything organised, and it's really easy to find what you need. And best of all, it's really easy to get your references when you're writing something. So that's pretty much it, really. I'll stop sharing my screen now. So that's how I use Zotero. Obviously, if you've already got loads and loads of information on your computer, it is going to take a bit of time to import it and to get it organised how you like it. But once it's done, it's done. And it's really easy to find your information. So I've been using it, as I was saying, I've been using it for probably about 3 months now. And I found it's definitely by far the best method of all the ones that I've tried to use. And like I said, I've tried just saving things in folders on my computer. I've used Evernote. But I like this because it's got both the hierarchical structure of your folders and files and subfolders, and it also has the power of tagging. So whichever way your mind works, it's going to work. And it's got that awesome little referencing tool, which is just a godsend when you're writing assignments all the time. So thanks for stopping in, and I hope that helped, and I hope you are now able to go and organise all your notes and find your information when you need it. Thank you. Bye.